So alright guys, in this video we are going to be looking at images and links. So as you can see here, I have opened up my editor on the left side and my browser on the right side. So it's very useful because like I can save my file here and I can easily show you what's going on in here. So I won't be doing this in every video because in this video we don't need that much of a space for my browser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a file called links. So that image folder. So I'm going to create this basic structure and I'm going to name it links and images. So I'm going to open this up with live server. So the first thing that we are going to discuss is that external link. So links are usually represented by something called a tag. So notice that if I press A and press tab, as you can see here, it has created as an attribute called as an href. So this href attribute is very important because without this attribute we can't create a link to another page. So so it's very important that you write this attribute. So I'm gonna link it to google.com. So you can have a text or images, anything you want to link. So as you can see here, it created a Google link for us. So if I press Google, you can see here it takes us to this Google page. But the problem here is when I'm clicking this Google, it actually takes us to the next page. So what if we want to have this? So it links to, it opens up in a new page instead of opening up in the same page, because whenever your user is visiting your web page, they don't want to be distracted from your main page to another link. So if you want to open up it in a new tab, you can do that. So another trick, the trick that I'm going to show you is, what if you want to duplicate this line? So just press shift alt and arrow. As you can see here, it created as an duplicate line for us. So if you want to open it up in another tab, what you have to do is you have to write target underscore blank. So if I press here, as you can see here, it takes us to another tab instead of opening up it in the same tab. But as you can see that these two are side by side instead of in the next line. So when we are seeing in the previous videos, as we have seen that h1 and p are in the different lines instead of in the same line, because a tag is something called as an inline element, and the h1 and p that we have discussed about, they are something called as a block level element. So we will be discussing about this inline and block level element once we in detail in the future videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a paragraph tag. So another trick that I'm going to show you is, what if you want to move this entire thing into here? So what you will do is you will select all this and press Ctrl X and V. So instead of doing that, what we can do is just press alt and up arrow, so to move up, and if you want to move down, you can do that. So that's it. So another trick is, so what if you want to move word by word instead of character by character like this? You can just press Ctrl and arrows, so left or right arrows, you can do that. So this is very helpful, guys. So once you are building very large web pages, this is very useful for you. So as you can see here, it moved to the next line because a p is a block level element. So another thing is, so whenever you are using these a tags, so you might have seen in another web pages, like they will have a home page and about page, a contact page. So if we press the contact page, it shows us in the same page instead of like moving in the next opening up it in new tab. So what if you want to create a link to your same a folder here. So different files, as you can see here. What if you want to create a link, you can do that. So just slash means the current folder, and as you can see here, it shows us all the files that we have in here. So I'm gonna name it as typography. So if I press here, as you can see here, that file that you have linked to it opened up in here. So this is very helpful, guys. Once you are having many files in your folder, and if you want to link to another page, you can do this easily. So that's it about the A tags. So now we are going to discuss about the images. So the first thing is, what if you want to have a local image in your file, and if you want to link it, you can do that. So the tag for image is img, and if I press tab, as you can see here, it gives us two attributes here. So for a link, you saw that for it only gave us an href tag for defaultly, but here you can see that it gives us a source tag and an alt tag. So this source tag is used when we want to so it's similar to href, but the source here is like if you want to link it to your local images, you can do that. So I already have an image folder in here, and I have an image in here. So the sample.jpg image. So I'm gonna link to that. So /images/sample.jpg. So this so as you can see here, the image opened up in here, but see, this image is very big because we didn't have any CSS applied to it. Once we have CSS applied in here, we can easily shrink it. So this alt, as you can see here, it's mainly used because due to some reason, if you have a poor internet connection, or if the images have been removed, or due to some reason, if your image doesn't show up, you can specify some text in here, so it shows whether your image doesn't show up. So I'm going to show an example here. So what if, like, instead of sample I gave it as samples. So as you can see here, the image didn't load up, and it shows up this alt the text that you have mentioned in here. So I just wanted to show you. So what if you want to like change the width and height of this? You can easily do that in the HTML itself, but I won't recommend doing this via HTML, because the images it won't be responsive if you are doing this via an HTML. So I'm gonna have a width of 100. So you can just specify only the width. The height in here, it will automatically adjust according to the files, according to the document. So you can just mention the width in here. So like I'm gonna have it as 200. So it's very small. Okay. So what if you want to link to a remote image? So you want to link it to a image from a external source, like external source, you can do that. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna use a source called source.unsplash.com. So this website is great, guys, if you want to have random images in your site. So it's very useful for you. So from in here, there are many things like random from a specific user, so from users likes. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna choose this random search item. So if I press save, as you can see here, it gave us this images. So if I reload again, you can see that it gives us a random image. So you can also change the width and height of this in here itself. So I'm gonna have a 200 into 200. So as you can see here, so this width and height here, you can't just change like so. This unsplash source here, it actually allows you to do this. So you can change in here, but normally you can't do this in a normal image. So this unsplash source allows us to do this. So this is for nature and water. What if you want to have, let's say, a building image? So you can do this easily. So if I press reload, as you can see here, it randomly changes. So this is very useful, guys, when you are building websites, and if you want to have a random image in a website, this is a great resource. So note this, source.unsplash.com is a very useful resource. So that's it, guys. So these are the different like A and image tags in detail. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will see you in my next video.